Once upon a time, in a small coastal town, lived a young fisherman named Adrian. Every morning before sunrise, Adrian would take his little wooden boat into the sea, cast his net, and return by noon with a modest catch. He lived a simple life, selling fish at the marketplace, earning just enough to buy food for the day. Adrian's friends admired his skill in fishing, but they also noticed something unusual about him. Unlike other fishermen who dreamed of owning bigger boats or expanding their trade, Adrian seemed content with the same routine day after day. But deep inside, Adrian often wondered, is this all life has for me? He loved the ocean, but he hated the thought that his future would look exactly like his present. His dreams were small, limited only by what he saw around him. One evening, while Adrian was mending his net near the harbor, an old traveler approached him. The man looked wise, with silver hair, steady eyes, and a presence that commanded respect. "Young man," said the traveler, "you are talented. But tell me, why do you only fish in these shallow waters when the deep sea holds treasures beyond your imagination?" Adrian frowned. "Because I only have this small boat. I cannot go farther. And even if I did, what difference would it make? I catch enough fish to survive. Isn't that enough?" The old man shook his head and replied, "Your problem is not your boat, son. It's your thinking. You believe survival is enough, so survival is all you will ever get. But the ocean does not limit you. Your own thoughts do." Adrian sat silently, his mind unsettled by the traveler's words. The old man continued, "Let me tell you something important. Greatness is never found in small thinking. The size of your dreams determines the size of your future. If you think small, you will live small. If you dare to think big, the world itself will open doors for you." That night, Adrian could not sleep. The traveler's words echoed in his mind. The ocean does not limit you. Your thoughts do. For the first time in his life, Adrian asked himself a bold question. What if I could become more than just a fisherman who survives day by day? The next morning, instead of going fishing, he visited the town's shipyard. There he saw a large, sturdy boat that could sail into deeper waters. His heart raced. Owning such a boat seemed impossible. The price was far beyond anything he could afford. But something inside him whispered, "Don't think about what you lack. Think about what's possible." Adrian took a brave step. He went to the boat owner and proposed a deal. "Sir, I cannot pay you now, but I promise you this. If you allow me to use this boat, I will give you a share of every catch I made until the debt is paid." The owner laughed at first, but Adrian's determination impressed him. Finally, he agreed. For the first time, Adrian sailed into the deep sea. The waters were rough, the waves were high, and fear tried to paralyze him. But then he remembered. Big rewards never come from small risks. When he cast his net, what came out amazed him. The boat overflowed with fish bigger than he had ever seen. That day, Adrian earned more money than he usually made in a whole month. Days turned into weeks. Adrian worked harder than ever before, sailing into deeper waters, braving storms, and returning with abundant catches. He paid off the debt quickly, but more importantly, he began to see himself differently. No longer was he just a fisherman. He was now a man who believed in possibilities. But Adrian's vision didn't stop at one boat. He thought bigger. He dreamed of creating a fleet of fishing boats. He imagined giving jobs to other young men in his town who, like him, were stuck in small thinking. At first, people mocked him. "Adrian, don't be foolish. You're just a fisherman. Why dream of owning many boats? Be happy with what you have." But Adrian didn't listen. He remembered the old traveler's lesson. The size of your dreams determines the size of your future. He worked tirelessly, saved money, and little by little, he bought more boats. Within 5 years, Adrian had transformed. from a poor fisherman into the owner of the largest fishing company on the coast. His business not only changed his life, but also lifted the entire town. Jobs were created, families were fed, and prosperity spread. One morning, years later, as Adrian stood proudly on the dock, watching dozens of his boats sail out to sea, he noticed a familiar figure approaching. It was the old traveler. Adrian's eyes filled with gratitude. He rushed forward, bowed his head, and said, "Master, everything I have today is because of your words. You told me to think big, and it changed my life." The old man smiled gently. "No, son, I did not change your life, you did. The moment you allowed yourself to dream bigger, you unlocked the doors of your destiny. That is the power of thinking big." Years later, Adrian became a legend in the region. People no longer called him just a fisherman. They called him a visionary. When young men came to him for advice, Adrian always said the same words. Don't limit yourself by your circumstances. Don't let your present define your future. Remember, the ocean is endless, and so are the possibilities in life. The only limit is the size of your thinking. If you want a small life, think small. But if you want a great life, dare to think big. Dear friends, here is the moral. The size of your thoughts shapes the size of your life. If you think small, you will stay small. But if you dare to think big, the world itself will expand for you. This is the true power of thinking big. So, my friends, what did we learn today? Adrian's journey teaches us that greatness does not depend on where you are born, what you have, or what you lack. It depends on the vision inside your mind. Change your thoughts, and you will change your future. Think big, act bold, and life will surprise you with possibilities you never imagined. If you liked this story, give it a thumbs up, comment below with your thoughts, and share it with someone who needs this message today. See you in the next video.